What is going on, guys? It is the Coaster Crusader here, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be taking a look at Wildcat's Revenge in Hershey Park at Hershey, Pennsylvania. This is the second RMC hybrid to open this year, in addition to being the second RMC hybrid to open in the Northeast region alongside Wicked Cyclone at Six Flags New England in Agawam, Massachusetts. Wildcat's Revenge is a conversion of the original Wildcat roller coaster, which opened in 1996. The original Wildcat was a GCI wooden coaster, the first coaster to be built by their company, and was named after the Wildcat, which was Hershey Park's first roller coaster back in 1923. However, over the years, the ride began to bring a bad reputation for its ride rough experience, which led to its closure in 2022. In November of that year, Hershey Park announced Wildcat will be returning as Wildcat's Revenge, featuring Rocky Mountain Construction's revolutionary iBox technology, which allows the ride to perform new crazy maneuvers. In addition, RMC's iBox technology reduces the amount of maintenance the ride needs. I had the wonderful opportunity to attend Wildcat's Revenge Media Day with a friend, and I can't wait to share my thoughts with you guys. So without further ado, let's get into this video. So the ride begins with a left-hand turn out of the station as it enters this wacky little trick track section where it kind of just bounces around everywhere. After you complete the trick track section, you're going to enter a point of 140 feet as you enter an 82-degree drop. This drop is crazy. After you exit the drop, you're going to enter the world's largest step-up underflip, where it does a 270-degree roll and then it rolls back toward the direction that it entered. Then you enter this ginormous airtime hill which passes over the ride, and then you enter a little off-axis airtime hill before you enter the ride's first of many wave turns. After you exit the wave turn, you enter the ride's 0G stall inversion, which provides a pretty good dose of hang time. You then flip over after you reach the apex of the stall and you enter a drawn out wave turn, which then brings you into this really cool step down, which we will talk about later in the video. After that, you enter the first of the ride's two 0G rolls. You then do a 270-degree turnaround turn complete with a tiny little outer bank for some extra fun, and then you enter the ride's final inversion, which is a 0G roll. Both of these 0G rolls are very whippy, so depending on where you sit in the train, you're either going to get very strong laterals as you're going through them, or you're going to be getting a mix of laterals and maybe some hang time as you're going through them. They're very unique rolls. Then the ride does some chaos as it makes its way back to the station, and you enter the brakes, and then you make your way to the unload station and you get to enjoy the rest of your day. As you can see, this ride already sounds crazy enough just hearing me talk about it, but it's even crazier when you get a chance to ride it yourself. If I was to compare it to any other RMC out there, I definitely have to say it's the most different RMC out there. I hear a lot of people say that it's the Iron Gwazi of the North. I think Gwazi's in a category of its own because that ride's absolutely mental, but that doesn't mean that Wildcat isn't any better or worse than Gwazi. It really is one of those RMCs that's just fun, and it's also different in its own right. So what makes this ride different from other RMCs? The first thing that makes this ride different, in my opinion, is the airtime. Now, with all RMC hybrids, everyone knows that RMC hybrids bring nothing but strong ejector or very strong flow ejector moments of airtime, and that is something that can be found in Wildcat's Revenge. However, it's not strictly strong ejector airtime similar to those found on Gwazi or say Twisted Timbers. Instead, it's varied. I like that the ride varies the type of airtime that it offers throughout the ride experience, as it does catch you by surprise. Some other rides you might have ridden that are similar to Wildcat's Revenge is Jersey Devil at Six Flags Great Adventure and El Toro. Now, comparing Wildcat's Revenge to Jersey Devil is like comparing apples to orange, because the RMC hybrid coasters and the RMC single rail coasters are two completely different breeds of coasters, and they offer ride experiences. Now, if you were to ask me which of the two are better, I'm gonna say Wildcat. Personally, I think Jersey Devil is one of the biggest disappointments to ever grace the amusement industry. It's just a huge sigh of relief to actually get a good RMC in the region finally, whereas El Toro, the ride has a little more competition. I still pick Wildcat over El Toro, mainly because the ride is smoother. There are many moments on Wildcat's Revenge where the lateral forces kinda just exist, and I didn't expect them to be as good as they are. specifically on the step down element in the second half of the ride. Because the track is not banked, riders are being exerted to more lateral forces than they would be if the track was banked. Another aspect of this ride that makes this ride fun is the amount of head choppers that exist on this ride. Head choppers are commonly found on wooden coasters, but they can also be found on steel coasters depending on which way the structure is oriented and where the track goes. This ride is filled with head choppers. Mainly this is because of the supports that the ride needs in order to support some of the inversions that you go through, but even if you were to take these out, there's a lot of times where the ride is just winding around existing track and existing lumber that adds in so many head chopper moments to this ride. I can't even count them all. It's really fun, and I think it adds to the thrill of Wildcat's Revenge. Now, Hershey Park has a really good ride on their hands. I think it's the new best ride in the park. But as with everything, there are some points that I do have to critique when it comes to the final ride design. And the first thing that I would like to critique is the design of the Zero car. I think the Zero car would have worked better as an entrance facade rather than a Zero car. Mostly whenever you're taking a picture of a ride, the riders and the train are all facing in the same direction as the track. Whereas on Wildcat's Revenge, there's the random cat in the middle of the front of the train looking off to the right. It's pretty funny if you ask me, but I personally think that this would be better as an entrance facade rather than a Zero car design. But nevertheless, almost every single RMC Zero car design slaps. I think Hershey Park has a real winner on their hands. They were able to take something that was old and unpopular and breathe some new life into it, incorporating new modern thrill technology while upholding the ride's original theme and attributes such as the Nick Pantalone Memorial and his iconic catchphrase. I've been waiting for a good RMC to come to my region for nearly 12 years, and I think this waiting finally paid off. You should check out Wildcat's Revenge. Will you be making the trip to check out Hershey's newest roller coaster? And if you have ridden it already, be sure to comment your thoughts in the comment section below, and feel free to discuss with others on what you think. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Look forward to more videos coming soon, and as always, see you guys later.